I now call the regular city council meeting to order at 9:01. If you can please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your right hand over your heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. City Clerk, if you can please call the roll.
Yes, Mayor Lopez,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Larios.
Here.
Councilmember Merlo,
Here.
Councilmember Larios,
No.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Here.
Wow, sorry about that. You have a quorum. Councilmember Davis is absent.
Thank you. City Clerk, do we have any changes to our agenda?
There are none.
May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move Larios.
I'll second.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Larios, seconded by Councilmember Merlo to approve the agenda. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Larios.
Yes.
Councilmember Merlo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We will now take public comments from members of the audience. If you would like to provide a public comment, please come to the podium or click the raise hand button on Zoom. Do we have any public comments?
We have no raised hands on Zoom.
Okay. Seeing that there are none, we will now go on to presentations. Agenda item number 1 is City Administration Report. City Administrator Fandino will present the item.
Good morning, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. So today's topics will be covering the new business welcome, the Los Angeles County Fire Contract Savings, the Vernon Police Department Leadership Development, the City Beautification Efforts, the Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation, known as LEEDC, 2022 Most Business Friendly City Award, and Community Engagement. So we'll start off from August through the present. The city issued 6 certificates of occupancy to the new business located in Vernon. This slide represents a few of these new enterprises. Their operations range from food storage and distribution to garment manufacturing to warehousing. On September 14th, the city hosted a new business welcome. It's semi-annual meet and greet with the new Vernon businesses and address their questions. We are excited that this continues to be an influx of new operations in the city, and we're happy to welcome new and innovative businesses operations on the horizon. So we'll go on to Vernon's transition to LA County Fire. So Vernon's transition for fire protection services was a decision that was made on the ultimate goal of securing general fund stability over long term without sacrificing the quality of fire protection services being delivered to the community. The savings to be realized to the transition were significant. Part of the city's estimated contract costs included conversion expenses, which occurred for personnel training, fire station modifications, equipment and gear, communications modifications, and the like. Savings were realized through the city initiated station renovations, credit for an urban search and rescue, USAR apparatus, and the city's initiated training session, which leveraged prior to the official transition. The city's proactive measures guided from the former interim fire chief Enriquez effectively reduced the overall cost. The original 2019 estimate provided by LA County Fire for the conversion cost was approximately $4 million. After the LA County Fire completed a thorough survey of the city's related facilities and resources. In contrast, the amount of approximately 2.9 million was only spent. I'm proud to say that through the creativity, flexibility, and strong collaboration that we have with LA County Fire, the conversion costs and further were reduced and further support the city's long-term financial vision. So approximately $1.1 million worth of savings. We'll go on to the next slide. The Vernon Police Department is focused on developing leaders regularly through the department, sends officers and training to develop leadership skills in various aspects of the field and opportunities are available to all officers, and leadership roles are often rotated among staff. Some examples include drug abuse resistance education and DARE program, women leaders in law enforcement, or WLLE, and the Senior Management Institute for Police, or SMIP. Vernon, we'll go to the next slide. Vernon renews its commitment to the DARE program. For nearly 20 years, the Vernon Police Department has partnered with LA County Unified School District, Vernon Elementary School, in presenting the drug abuse resistance education program known as DARE. Each year, Vernon's Police Department DARE officer presents the program to the 5th grade students at the school. The 10-week program aims to teach fundamental skills that youth need to safe, healthy, and responsible in leading drug-free lives. Recently, the city's DARE officer, Marcel, was visited Houston, Texas to compete in a 2-week DARE academy and obtain her DARE certificate. She's excited to take on her first class this spring. In mid-September, Officer Teresa Flores and Cynthia Marcel attended the Officer Leaders in Law Enforcement, WLLE, training in Anaheim, California. The 3-day conference aims to bring together female law enforcement professionals in a supportive and empowering environment, enabling all to learn and the knowledge and experience from others. Police Department is proud of the dedication of the service of hard work exhibited by the women in the department and supports their development and becoming leaders in the Vernon Police Department. We'll go to the next slide. On July 28th, Nicholas Perez, Lieutenant, graduated from the Senior Management Institute for Police, known as SMIP. The SMIP program is an executive research forum that provides senior executives intensive training, the latest management concepts and practices used in the business and government. A demanding three-week course held in Boston University brings together a facility of top universities, successful law enforcement chief executives, and subject matter experts from the private sector. Designed for mid to upper level police executives, the program curriculum addresses the issues that demand the attention of today's forward thinking law enforcement leaders. We'll go on to the next slide. So we've been working with Public Works cohesively in trying to clean up the city's graffiti issues. I know that it's important to city council members. I do speak with some of you seldom when you see graffiti. So keeping our city clean is important to everybody and every business here in the city. So we face normal challenges that include homelessness, graffiti, illegal dumping, trash, and disorder. Since September 2021, the city of Vernon has ramped up its efforts to clean over 40 railroad right-of-way and numerous homeless encampments. Together with Vernon Police Department, Public Works staff addresses the issues directly by working closely with agencies like the railroad operators, Union Pacific, and BNSF primarily. LA County and the Army Corps of Engineers. Vernon staff engages in the community of business on a regular basis, encourages support and cooperation of the beautification effort that staff communicates the need to. The goal is to facilitate street sweeping by parking off-street, scheduled days, keep property and landscaping clean and orderly, plant trees and drought-tolerant landscaping, clean and sweep sidewalks weekly, and report encampments, illegal dumping, and graffiti. We have teams ready to respond. So we're here to provide our business community a competitive advantage and strive to make the city's a comfortable place to live and do business. We take pride in keeping the city clean, and we will continue to work with stakeholders to accomplish this goal. So we'll show you some pictures of some encampments and some before and after pictures. The one on the left is the before and after. We'll go to the next slide. We'll go next slide. So I'm excited to announce that Vernon has been selected as one of the 5 finalists for the 2022 Business Friendly City Award for populations under 60,000. Vernon is being recognized along with Beverly Hills, El Segundo, Luminita, and Monrovia as the winning cities for the most business-friendly city competition, which will be announced live at the Eddie Awards on November 9th, 2022 at SoFi Stadium. Next slide, please. National Night Out promotes public safety, community partnerships, and neighborhood camaraderie. On August 2nd, Vernon was joined by its community for this year's National Night Out. Attendees had a chance to visit with the Vernon Police Department, LA County Fire Personnel, and the Office of Congresswoman Roybal Allard, Senator Gonzalez and Assemblymember Santiago, Supervisor Hahn, and the YMCA Southeast Community Foundation, Helping Hands Society, Vernon Commerce Credit Union, and the Greater LA County Vector Control. Food was prepared by our Vernon Police Department, and attendees enjoyed visiting with Spider-Man, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, and had fun on all our lawn games. We also had an inflatable slide, dunk tank activities throughout the evening. It was a very successful event with large numbers of the community members stopping by City Hall. Participant levels were up in contrast to the events hosted in early 2022. And then we have some pictures that we show of the event. So tomorrow night is a career day. The city will host its second consecutive career day on October 5th here in the council chambers via Zoom. The seminar is intended to educate students about the role of local government and increase awareness about the opportunities that careers in the public sector have to offer, provide an overview of various fields of service within the city, and touch upon potential education paths. The seminar is open to all students, but is geared towards students in high school and early college years. So we did announce it in multiple social media platforms, and invitations were sent to the local high schools as well. More upcoming events that we have to share. We have the Halloween Spectacular, which will be October 27th from 5 to 7. Throughout the day, on that day, we'll have the Vernon Elementary students come over as well. And we have the Vernon Business Breakfast on November 9th from 8 to 9. And that concludes my presentation. Any questions?
No, thank you for the report. Now we will go on to agenda item number 2 is Indigenous Peoples' Day Proclamation. City Clerk Pope will present the item.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. This is a proclamation of the mayor and the city council of the city of Vernon recognizing October 10th, 2022 as Indigenous Peoples' Day in the city of Vernon. Whereas Indigenous peoples have populated the Western Hemisphere for tens of thousands of years and were America's first inhabitants. And whereas Indigenous Peoples' Day was first proposed in 1977, and since then, many cities, counties, and states in the country have proclaimed the second Monday in October as Indigenous Peoples' Day to celebrate and honor Native American peoples and commemorate their histories and cultures. And whereas 2021 marked the first year that a president of the United States issued a proclamation recognizing Indigenous Peoples' Day, acknowledging Indigenous peoples' resilience and strength, as well as the immeasurable positive impact that they have made on every aspect of American society. And whereas the city of Vernon observes the second Monday in October as a holiday in honor of Indigenous Peoples' Day, and the Vernon City Council desires to proclaim Indigenous Peoples' Day with the intention of bringing awareness and understanding to the local community. And whereas the colonization of the Americas significantly encroached upon Native culture and lands and disrupted and altered the lives of Indigenous peoples, resulting in lasting impacts. And whereas Indigenous peoples continue to fight to maintain the integrity and viability of Indigenous societies, to overcome existing disparities and continue to advocate for their own rights. And whereas the city of Vernon understands that in order to help close the equity gap, government entities, organizations, and other public institutions should change their policies and practices to better reflect the experiences of Indigenous peoples and uplift our country's Indigenous roots, history, and contributions. And whereas the city of Vernon recognizes that the contributions that Indigenous peoples have made throughout history in public service, entrepreneurship, scholarship, the arts, and countless other fields are integral to our community, our American culture, and our society. And whereas the city of Vernon desires to promote understanding, recognition, and respect for all cultures and endeavors to enrich the community as a whole and support empathy, integrity, humility, and good stewardship of resources. And whereas the city of Vernon encourages businesses, organizations, and public entities to recognize Indigenous Peoples' Day and reflect upon the ongoing struggles and positive contributions of Indigenous peoples of this land, and to celebrate the culture and value that all Indigenous peoples add to our community. Now therefore, the mayor and the city council of the city of Vernon, on behalf of its employees, residents, and businesses, hereby proclaim October 10th, 2022 as Indigenous Peoples' Day in the city of Vernon. This proclamation is being presented by the Honorable Mayor Leticia Lopez for and on behalf of the city council of the city of Vernon this 4th day of October 2022.
We will now go on to agenda item number 3 is a commemorative check presentation. City Administrator Fandino will present this item.
So, Mayor and City Council, as you're aware, due to a recent theft and vandalism that occurred at Huntington Park High School, football team was left with a shortage of necessary safety equipment such as helmets and other gear, which was stolen. Recognizing the importance and value in supporting local students and athletes, and in keeping with the city's commitment to being a good neighbor, the city of Vernon provided a sponsorship in the amount of $12,000 to be used to purchase necessary safety equipment for the school's football team. I believe that we do have the athletic director here. Yeah, we like to call the athletic director, the coach, and some of the players, so that we can present the check to Huntington Park High School. Oh, you want to introduce them? You can go to the podium.
Thank you for having us up. My name is Joe Reed. I'm the athletic director at Huntington Park High School, along with Coach Fonseca and Mr. Wellington, Mr. Hernandez, and drawing a blank, Mr. Carrillo, and our principal, Mr. Carlos Garibaldi. I'd like to say how much we appreciate the opportunity of being here. We appreciate your support and what you do for the community in the local areas, and thank you. Mr. Garibaldi, did you want to say anything?
Sure. So once again, Mayor, council members, thank you very much. It means a lot. Sometimes when students drop out of school, it's because of anonymity. People don't know that they weren't there. And so when this happened and we heard the generous contribution that the city of Vernon was making, it made us feel, once again, not anonymous or not unseen. You made us feel heard, you made us feel seen. And that's very important for Huntington Park High School. So thank you very much. Same time, I want to extend an invitation. We have community night this Friday night as we take on Southeast High School. I know these gentlemen, you'll see them playing on the field, and you're welcome to join us for a pregame meal under the scoreboard at around 6 o'clock that our very own students prepare from our culinary arts program. So you're more than welcome to join us 6 o'clock. Let us know if you're coming, and we'll get you some parking close to the scoreboard where we're going to be. But I also would like to invite any of our athletes or coaches, if they have any words of appreciation for the city of Vernon. Thank you again. Thank you very much on behalf of all the Spartans. Thank you.
Coach Miguel Fonseca, I'd like to say thank you. It's been a tough season getting equipment. There's been a shortages all across the board. Before you would place an order, get 20, order them, get them next week. Right now we're on a waiting list to get 2-3 helmets. So this really does help. I'd like to say thank you, and go Spartans.
First off, I'd like to say thank you for your appreciation, or not your appreciation, your gift. I really am thankful for this.
Right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Right, we're in session.
Have a good day. Fancy. Oh, smart joke. I don't know.
Lisa? Do you still want to go? Okay. What's this?
When was their house? They went over. Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we will go on to the consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar may be approved with one motion. Items may be removed from the consent calendar by any member of the council. Those items removed will be considered immediately after the consent calendar. Does the council wish to pull any items from the consent calendar?
No.
Are there any public comments for the consent calendar? Do we have any raise hand buttons on Zoom?
We have no raised hands on Zoom.
Thank you. May I have a motion for consent calendar item numbers 4 through 11?
I'll move Larios.
I'll second Lopez.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Larios, seconded by Mayor Lopez, sorry, to approve the consent calendar. Mayor Lopez?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Larios?
Yeah.
Councilmember Merlo?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We will now go on to new business. Agenda item number 12 is a purchase contract with DC Consulting Services LLC. Acting Public Utilities General Manager Dusenberry will present the item.
Morning, Honorable Mayor and City Council members.
Morning.
Vernon Public Utilities is seeking council approval for the purchase of two 571 gas turbine engines at a cost not to exceed $444,989. The two gas turbine engines will be used to replace a failed engine caused by a compressor issue on H. Gonzalez Unit Number 1 located at the city's power plant. The H. Gonzalez Units 1 and 2 play a critical role by providing local resource adequacy to VPU, which would otherwise need to be purchased from the market at a costly rate. VPU has had to purchase replacement energy capacity from the market and needs to continue to do so until Unit 1 can be placed back into service. The cost that VPU pays for this replacement capacity for Unit 1 is approximately $483,000 annually. VPU sought the services of an authorized vendor that conducts maintenance work on 571 engines to see what it would take to put the unit back into service. The authorized vendor, Rosewood Group, determined that Unit 1 was in a state of disrepair and recommended that the unit instead be used for spare parts when Unit 2 was needed. Rosewood Group did also offer another solution, which was to modify Unit 1 to run on a 570 engine at an estimated cost of $660,000 with no guarantee of success. Exploring alternative options before proceeding with any of the RWG recommendations, VPU recently discovered that there are 5 remaining 571 engines available for purchase. These 5 engines are known to be some of the last available 571 engines globally. DC Consulting, possessing more than 40 years of experience working with 571 engines, will help PPU identify 2 out of the 5 engines that are in the best conditions to purchase. 1 engine will be used to replace the failed engine in Gonzales Unit 1, while the second engine will be used to replace the current engine in Unit 2. The replacement of the failed engine and utilizing the current Unit 2 engine as a ready backup will enable the Gonzales units to operate for an expected additional 10 years. BPU expects that the purchase will pay for itself over the course of just the next calendar year. In closing, staff seeks City Council approval of a purchase contract with DC Consulting in an amount not to exceed $444,989 and recommends a contingency amount of $55,000 for a total cost not to exceed $499,989. That concludes this report, and I'm available for any questions you might have.
Does council have any questions of staff?
I do. What happens after the 10 years since there's only 5 left? Are you guys planning on upgrading that unit?
Yeah, at that point, with 5 engines coming over, we're hopeful that 2 of the engines that have less than 1,000 operating hours are viable and keep the program running. The 3 other engines would still be in our possession at that point, and we could continue the program at that point. Although the state is shying away from permitting any new gas generation. The fact that we already have gas generation, the program could run longer since we already have these units in place.
Are there any additional questions of staff?
No.
Are there any public comments or any raised hands on Zoom?
We have no raised hands on Zoom.
Thank you. May I have a motion for item number 12?
I'll move Ibarra.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Ibarra, seconded by Councilmember Merlo, to find the action exempt under CEQA, approve the issuance of a purchase contract with DC Consulting in the amount not to exceed $444,989.50 and authorize a contingency amount of $55,000. Mayor Lopez.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Larios.
Yes.
Councilmember Merlo.
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra. Motion carries.
We will now go on to oral reports.
Mayor, if I could, I need to make a correction to one of the slides on page 4 of my presentation.
Mhm.
So I misspoke. Let's go back to page 4. So we projected to spend in conversion $4 million, but we only spent $1 million. So we saved $2.9 million.
Oh,
I was scolded because I gave the wrong number. So I just want to make that correction. So again, it's a great partnership with LA County Fire. They worked hand in hand with us to try to reduce those costs, and the training with Chief Enriquez really paid off. So we only spent approximately $1 million in conversion. So that's savings directly right off the top that we're experiencing. With us today, I do have the new area battalion chief and our new representative. So I'd like to invite them up to introduce themselves to City Council.
Good morning, City
Good
Council,
morning.
Mayor. My name is James Solomon. I'm the new acting assistant fire chief. Chief Harris got, I guess, bumped up. So he steps up, so someone else steps up and takes his place. So much like you saw Chief Sprengel in this role for 4 or 5 months, just now in my role. So I'll be working close with Mr. Fendino and any needs that the city has. And this is our new community service liaison for the city, Gina Chan. She is taking Rosemary Vivero's place. I'm sure many of you knew Rosemary. She's still around. She's moved to a different division, but she's always in the area and she's always helping out. So any of the community events, any of the things that we've been a part of, will obviously continue to be part of. And with Gina's help, make sure nothing gets dropped and everything gets scheduled. I look forward to being here, and I am from this area. I was a battalion chief in this area for a long time, so I feel pretty comfortable just kind of sliding right in and taking care of anything you need.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Chief, are you still out of Santa Fe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having us. Myself and AC Sullivan are at actually Santa Fe Springs. So you could reach us both there at Santa Fe office, at Station 164s. And for the most part, I came from a background of nonprofit organization and youth services and human services. So it's a pleasure to be here, and hopefully I get an opportunity to work with each and every one of you. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and again, Career Day is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Spooktacular, Halloween Spooktacular is October 27th at 5 p.m. And then Bravo Foods, the grand opening in Vernon, has extended an invitation to the city council and the Vernon's leadership team for the grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony of its newest state-of-the-art Vernon facility located on Santa Fe. The special event will take place Thursday, October 6th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The company hopes that the grand opening ceremony will allow them to acknowledge their connection with the city of Vernon and allow local businesses to network between themselves and with the local representatives in government and celebrate their Latino-owned business. And then in closing, I just wanted to thank the city council for their support with the Huntington Park High School. So they're really excited. And again, they extended an invitation out to any council members that would like to join them on the field 6 p.m. this Friday for their meal. That's all I have.
Thank you. Are there any reports from council? Seeing that there are none, we'll now go on to closed session for agenda item number 13, I'm sorry. Thank you, everyone. We are back from closed session at 10:38.
Council met in closed session on one item and no reportable action was taken.
With no further business, I adjourn the meeting at 10:38.
Thank you.